Hi everyone, my name is Diba. I am a math student at the University of Toronto, and today I'm going to be ranking every single class I've taken in my undergrad degree so far. I am about 2 years into my undergrad degree, 2 of 4, so halfway point. I'm going into my third year this fall at the time that I'm filming this, and I thought it was a good time to sit and reflect on some of the courses I've taken over the past 2 years, highs and lows. I completely stole this idea from another YouTube video I watched from this YouTuber named Nina Wang, who makes really, really great videos about her degree at MIT, so definitely check her out as well. Okay, awesome. So background information. So I came into university intending to do a math specialist at U of T. If you don't know, a math specialist is kind of the honors math degree that U of T offers. And I also knew when I was entering my first year that I wanted to do some other major or minor in the sciences. And that's why I kind of take a little spattering of science classes in my first year, as you will see. I ended up at the end of my first year picking an Earth and Environmental Systems major, which I then dropped 1 semester later at the end of the fall of my second year. And now I'm in a geoscience minor. So I dropped from the Earth Sciences major to a geoscience minor, and that's where my degree is at right now, a math specialist and a geoscience minor. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I might start making more videos. I might make a video just totally dedicated to the math specialist at U of T because people always have questions about that. But for now, this is what I've got, so please enjoy. Okay, amazing. So here is my little tier list that I made on tiermaker.com. If you just search up tier list maker, it's the first link that comes up. And I have all my courses down here, including the courses that I dropped. So I didn't drop many courses throughout my U of T career so far. I've only actually dropped 2 classes, but we'll rank those as well. And really they'll just go into the drop it like it's hot category here at the bottom. So rest of the categories, the first one is called elite, just elite level courses, amazing, fantastic, no other way to put it. Second category is 85%. At U of T, 85% is still an A, it's a 4.0, but it's the lowest grade that you can get and get a 4.0. So these are courses that were good, they were A-level courses, but they weren't, the highest grade you could get while still getting an A or a 4.0. So that's category number 2. Number 3 is just pleasant. They were okay courses, they were fine. I don't really have particularly strong feelings about them either way. They were maybe nice background classes that I just kind of did week to week. Then there's barely passing. So these courses, they're not the worst thing I've ever endured, but definitely there were points where I was this is getting pretty bad. So barely passing grade for these classes. And then there's just pure suffering. Just courses I suffered through for 4 months or a year, however long the term was. Okay, awesome. Those are the categories. I'm gonna try to rank them kind of in the order that I took the classes. So starting with first year courses, then moving into second year courses. And we will start with math classes. So first year, full year course, Math 157. I'm gonna give this 85%. It was pretty good. It was pretty interesting. I loved the professor for this class. He was a really great lecturer in my opinion, especially because I took this course fully online, and it is so much harder to lecture online than it is in person. So shout out to the teaching team for Math 157. I also really liked my TA, so the tutorials were fun. But at the same time, this course was just way too much little quizzes and quiz preparation for me to make it elite. There is something that kind of irks me in the structure of a course when you have a lot of smaller assessments versus a bigger one. And we had these kind of bi-weekly quizzes that were the bane of my existence for a while. So 85% for Math 157. Okay. Math 240 was the other math class I was taking in the first semester of my first year, which is Algebra 1. This course, people describe it as a transformative experience, it just completely changed their lives. And it was good, but I don't feel like it completely changed my life in the way I think about the world or anything like that. It was definitely good, the professor was great. The assignments were a lot of fun. My favorite part of this class was the homework, but it was also pretty grueling from time to time. Really tight turnaround times on homeworks, sometimes 4-day assignments. So overall, not elite level, but still very good. I still enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Okay, cool. What else did I take in first semester of first year? I took Ant 100. Ant 100 is a straight up elite course, especially if you are a math specialist. So if any math specialists are watching this video, let me sell you on Ant 100 right now. Because at U of T, the math specialists have to take an ethics requirement. And like I mentioned before, you need to have these breadth requirements to get a U of T degree. So ANT 100, not only does it get you breadth requirements in 2 different categories, breadth 3 and breadth 4, which is like society and its institutions, you get a credit towards that category, and a category of like living things in their environment is breadth 4. But you also get it counted towards the math specialist ethics requirement. And the course is literally so chill and so fun. I swear you have to try to fail this class. It is super fun. I took it in my first year and the professors were amazing. Again, online lectures, and it's hard to make online lectures engaging, but it was super fun. Okay, awesome. What else? So in the fall of my first year, I was like, let me get some breadth requirements done. Let me get some distribution requirements done. So I took 2 classes that were specifically for my breadth requirement. The first class I initially enrolled in was Italian 100, but this was one of the courses I dropped. I dropped Italian because at the start of the course, I was in it for like a week, and then I went to like the first lecture and they were like, you have to buy this software that costs a bunch of money to take your quizzes, otherwise you can't be in the course. And then I dropped the class immediately. And once I dropped Italian, already like a week and a half into the semester, I was looking to pick up a course for the fall that I could just like pick up, add on, get a breadth requirement. And I ended up enrolling in this class called Heavy Music, Muse 240. Muse 240 honestly gets an A. I enrolled in this class thinking that it was gonna be about music that was emotionally heavy and like evocative. And I was like, this is great. I listen to so much sad music. I'm gonna be so good at this. It was not about evocative music. It was about heavy metal music, which I had never listened to before in my life. That being said, it still gets an A because the professor and the teaching team, they were so fun and so nice. They let me write about like music that I was familiar with. So even though the course was centered on heavy metal, you could do a lot of the assignments on other kinds of music and relate it to some of the themes that commonly come up in metal music. It was super fun. It was a really relaxing class for my like fall semester of my first semester in university. Not a super high workload, and I got a good grade in it, even though I, to this day, don't know much about heavy metal music. So that was my experience with Muse 240. Okay. Cool. I also enrolled in a class called Classical Warfare, CLA 215. This course gets a suffering. So the professor for this class was actually amazing. She was really nice and a really good lecturer, a really good teacher, which is why to me it was so weird that the structure of this course would be so poor. Basically, there were weekly assignments, which is like, okay, that's fine. But they were group assignments, which is a little grosser. Like group assignments, I'm not a fan of them. I know some people love them, but not for me. But then, not only was there a weekly group assignment, your group would change every week. So every week you had to try to coordinate like a meeting between completely new people on completely different schedules. It was horrendous. I think the only reason I didn't drop this class was because just from the syllabus and my grades early on in the semester, I was pretty sure I was gonna get an A, which I did get an A in the course. But like, oh my God, it was just horrendous structure-wise. Never ever taking any course with like major group components in it ever again. Okay, that was Class 215. The last course I took in that fall semester was Bio 120, Adaptation and Biodiversity. This one gets a pleasant. I love the textbook for this course. It's called Why Evolution is True. I would show it to you, but I actually just moved apartments and like my books are in boxes and stuff right now. But it's a really great book. You can search it up if you want to take a look at it. It's like a little chapter book, so you can definitely read it. It's not like a textbook. Tons of fun, great professors. That being said, the tests, there was 4 term tests, really brutal. You had to do a lot in a really short amount of time. And the labs in this course, like the online labs that they had you do, were kind of painful. So overall, interesting content. Again, I didn't like the course components very much. So it gets a pleasant. Okay, that was first semester. Second semester, it was like becoming clear to me that I was probably gonna do a major in the earth sciences. So I picked up 2 earth sciences classes. The first one was GEG 100, Intro to Earth Sciences, which also gets an 85%. It gets an A. It was pretty good. There were also parts of this course where the lab was kind of tedious. The online labs, a lot of them were just like dealing with really big data sets in Excel and like formatting graphs and stuff like that, which is not exactly the most interesting thing to do. But the professor for this class was amazing, loved her, super fun lectures, and that made up for like the kind of boring lab component. that was involved. I also felt like I learned a lot in this course. The readings were super interesting, so it gets an 85. Okay, what else did I take earth science-wise? I took GGR 201, which was geomorphology. I feel like I'm giving every class an 85%, and I'm fine with that. It also gets an 85. Amazing professor, like Professor Roger Phillips. If by some fluke you are watching this video, that was an amazing class. I loved GGR 201, despite the fact that I am horrific at geomorphology. There was a surprising amount of physics in this class. That was fun. The labs, I know a lot of people complained, and they were definitely difficult, but they were fun in my opinion. My TA was really fun. But the thing about geomorphology is that I would speak up in class a lot. With geomorphology though, because I was so bad at it, the way it would go is the professor would ask a question and I would like think about it and I would genuinely do my best to answer, but 9 out of 10 times I would just be wrong. He would be like, oh, what's this dune type if we were classifying sand dunes? And I would be like so certain it was the right answer. And I would like answer 100% confidence wrong. Was not good at classifying dune types, which ended up being a lot of the questions in this course. So it gets an A. Okay, cool. That was earth sciences. Next, there's Math 247, which is Algebra 2. So this is kind of like the part 2 of Math 240. And I'm going to put this one in pleasant. I didn't like it as much as I liked 240. The professor for this course was also really good, but I don't know why, for some reason, this class just stuck in my brain less. Maybe I just don't really like the spectral theorem, which ends up being a big part of this course. And maybe I was also just really going through it at the time. But for some reason, I found it like impossible to focus in these lectures. The homework assignments just took me so long because my brain was just like refusing to cooperate with me. There was also a really highly weighted exam, a 50% exam, which terrifies me that I also did kind of badly on. So maybe I'm a little salty. And I was at work in the back room, like trying to restock something for my job. And I feel my phone buzz and I pull it out. And it's like this notification that like our grades were available for my 247 exam. And I knew because the exam was so highly weighted, like my ability to get an A in the course was entirely based on what I got on the exam. And I open it up just as I'm like hiding in the back room away from my supervisor on my phone. And I see I did like disastrously like bad on this exam. And I just have to kind of like put my phone away and go and work like the 6 remaining hours of my shift while I was like crying inside. So that was how I opened my 247 exam results. Okay, cool. Winter semester, first year, the last course I took was Jur 195. This was an elite course. I absolutely love urban theory. I would marry Jane Jacobs. I am obsessed with the study of cities. So this course was just such a gem for me. The professor was awesome. The discussions were super fun. I loved the like other people in the class. It was a seminar course. And sometimes, especially with online seminars, I feel like if people don't want to participate in the group discussions, it can get really bad. But this class was amazing. Everyone in it was super fun. I loved this course. Okay. And I think that is a wrap on my first year. I did take some summer courses the summer after my first year. I took 315, Math 315 Introduction to Number Theory, and this one gets a barely passing. I really didn't like this course. I really don't like number theory, and I knew that even before I took the course. The only reason it gets a barely passing was because I got a 97 in the course. Literally, that's it. It's because I got a high grade, and I like to get high grades. So in my mind, the course is a little better than it actually was. This class was brutal. It was a lot of really long computational work. The homework sets got really hard. Like the first 2 homework sets were okay. And then from that point onward, like homework 3, 4, 5, whatever, so difficult to complete, horrendous, bad. I also took Chem 135. I took this course because I needed to take it for my earth sciences major. And I also think this gets a barely passing. This course was one of those courses where you have like 17,000 things to do at once. There was tests, there was assignments, there were labs, there were quizzes, there were like reading quizzes. There were so many course components. Potentially might have even dropped it if it weren't for the fact that like I was doing well in the class and getting good grades. So that was like literally the only redeeming factor of both my summer courses was that I got good grades in them. And beyond that, pain. The summer after my first year was so painful, and this was a big factor. Okay, that brings us to second year. So I took a full year math class, Math 257, Analysis 2, and this class was straight up elite. I loved this course. From a content perspective, this class is amazing. The book is Spivak's Calculus All Manifolds, and just the entire second half of the course, where it starts to get into the differential geometry, was so much fun in my opinion. I really liked the professor, I loved the lectures, and I say that kind of being a huge hypocrite because the lectures were all at 9 a.m. and half the time I would show up late and then fall asleep. But the times that I didn't show up late and fall asleep, the lectures were amazing, the office hours were amazing, TAs were great, super fun class, I loved it. I also had possibly like the best exam writing experience of my undergraduate career writing the exam for this course. I was on a bad streak exam-wise. In terms of tests, when I went to write this exam, which was my last exam of second year, I had taken like multiple L's in a row. Like I was freezing on exams, I was forgetting like basic material. I was really not doing well. And I went into this exam and I think I needed like a 60 or something to get an A in the course. And I was like, okay, you know what? I can do this. I can get a 60. And I sat down, wrote the test. It was 8 questions, and I left the exam room, and I was like, that was the best test writing experience I've ever had. I don't know why, everything just fell into place, and I didn't even get like a super high grade on the exam or anything like that. Like it wasn't like jaw-dropping, but I just felt so good because I knew when I came out of the exam room that I had just left it like all there, the whole course, the whole year. I had just given everything and it had worked out for me and I had done good. And then when we got the exam results, it was like confirmed what I thought at the time of the exam, that it went well for me, and I ended up getting an A+ in the class, and I was very happy. So love Math 257. Okay, cool. What else did I take? I took Math 327. This one gets pleasant. I liked the professor. I liked the lecture style. But at the same time, I felt like we spent a little too much time on point set topology, in my opinion. The course is meant to be like 50% point set, 50% algebraic topology. But in my experience, it was like 75% point set topology, 25% algebraic topology. So the distribution of topics was my favorite. It was okay. Okay, what else do we have? In the fall of second year, I took 2 earth science classes and 1 class from the geography department for my earth sciences major. And the first one I have here is ESS 223, which 100% goes into the suffering category. This course was pure pain. The professor, really didn't explain, in my opinion, a lot of the fundamental basic topics in geochemistry that we needed to succeed in the course. And at one point, the professor decided that the class was doing too well on the assignments, so he had the TA regrade one of the homeworks to lower the average to 50% on that homework or something like that after she had already done the grading. So this class was so painful for me. Then there was ESS 361, Atmosphere-Biosphere Interactions. This one gets a barely passing. It was better than Geochem. I loved the readings in this course. A lot of the readings were in kind of my wheelhouse in terms of earth sciences and natural sciences that I find to be really interesting. But the professor in this course in the last month kind of ruined the class for me. After that, the grading in the class was so much harsher, so much more aggressive, really not fun at all. I honestly think the quality of these 2 classes was a major contributing factor to me dropping my earth sciences major. I just did not enjoy any of my earth sciences in the fall of my second year. The very last class I took that fall was GGR 272. This one gets a pleasant. It was fun. It was basically an intro to geographic information systems, and it's a map making technology. It was very painful at some points just because the GIST software isn't exactly super compatible with Mac, and I have a MacBook. And it was very difficult to get the system running on my laptop. So the first couple weeks of the course were just pain. But the TAs were super nice. I would go to office hours a couple days before the assignments were due, and they were always very helpful. The assignments were genuinely fun. I found it really fun making maps and working with spatial data. So that was fun as well. It wasn't like a super exciting course by any means, and there were definitely times where I would be like bashing my head against the wall because something in arc just wasn't working for me. So it's not like the best class ever, but it was pleasant. I liked it. Now we're on to second semester. I dropped a class in my second semester, SDS 355 Theories of Sexuality. I was in it for like 2 weeks, but I honestly just dropped it because in second semester of second year, I was really feeling the heat workload wise. This semester, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drop to 4 courses and focus as much as possible on those 4 classes. So nothing against SDS 355. It seemed like a fun course. The prof seemed awesome. There was just no reason for me to be in it, and I knew that being in that class would take away from my ability to work on other courses. Okay, I took 2 math classes in the winter of my second year. Math 267, Introduction to Ordinary Differential Equations. Oh my god. It gets a pleasant. This will be a controversial move because I know a lot of people just flat out hated this course, and I agree that it was a really heavy workload at times. The textbook for this course was horrendous, so even like if you wanted to try and learn it out of the book, in my opinion, the book was really not helpful to you at all. That being said, I unironically like the professor for this class, which will be another controversial opinion, but I think he's a very nice guy. So even though the course was definitely really difficult in certain points, in the end, it was all okay, and I liked the professor. I'm just glad I got through it, honestly. Maybe I'm looking back with rose-tinted glasses, just like thankful that it's over, but I think Math 267 gets a pleasant. That's my opinion. And this is my tier list, so if you disagree, you can make your own tier list. Okay, Math 357, Foundations of Real Analysis. This course was supposed to be a very straightforward class, and then it ended up being literally the worst course of my second semester. This class was so painful in terms of grading. They were really strict grading the tests. It was bad. I'm glad I got through it though. A lot of people usually take this in third year, so even though it was kind of rough, I am glad that I just got it done with and I don't have to worry about this course now. So overall, I think I would give this a suffering. Okay, last course I have here, I took a queer and trans studies class this semester. It was fun. I liked it. I loved the lectures. The prof was great. It gets a pleasant. I kind of have a bone to pick with the TAs in this course. I felt like what the prof was telling us we would be graded on was different from what the TAs were marking us on at certain points. But overall, super fun. Loved the lectures. It was a great course. Okay, those are all the courses I've taken so far, and maybe in 2 years' time I'll make another tier list. I hope you guys liked this video, and I might start making other videos, but for now, that's all I have. Okay, bye everyone.